Welcome back to Week 10, Year 488 of the Great Pendragon Campaign. It's time to roam around France and do some deeds. So, let's start with Nidian, Elaine, and Dwinwyn, who are being called an increasingly unlikely series of names by the Praetor Syagrius. Yep. Yes, so let's see. Let's find out what you encounter. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, cool. So you ride around the lands and you encounter various peoples, various Frankish peoples, and some of them are very excited to see the Praetor Syagrius, and some of them are just kind of keep their distance and like spit on the ground as you pass. Every once in a while, Praetor Syagrius stops at a village and he goes and he speaks with a couple, local village leaders. And he'll come back out with a couple of armed and armored equites who the village had been hiding. And your party has grown to about 20 or 30 people by this point in time. And the Praetor Syagrius, I think he's heard of a nearby town, just a small farming village that might be harboring some of his folks. But some of the equites who have joined him have mentioned that these people worship heathen gods, the same gods that the Saxons worship, and that they have fallen away from Christianity and the proper Roman worship. And indeed, as you ride across the fields of France, you can see on the horizon, there's just a small little town. It looks like an idyllic little farming village. But then up on the hill, there's a temple that's been set up, and there are thick black smokes rising from it. So he turns to you three, and he says, "Now, as we go into this village and we seek out my noble equites, I want the three of you to go to that temple. We can't allow these false idols to stand. We must take them down, and we must make certain that the people here understand that it is Roman rule and Roman Christianity which rules the land here. Can I trust in you to take on this task for me?"
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely, without hesitation.
She's lying, but...
Yeah, I was wondering how Dwinwyn feels about this religious takeover.
Midian and Dwinwyn are going to get into a fight, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dwinwyn. Let's see. Isn't there
deceitful?
Yeah, honest.
Oh.
You actually can't just lie.
No.
So
Yes.
roll against your honest.
No, I'm very honest.
It's true.
So do I roll honest?
Yeah, check your honest, and only if you fail at your honest do you have the option to be deceitful.
Damn my better angels of my nature.
Yep.
Okay, well...
Oh, nope.
You can't lie.
Bye.
So what do you say? What's your truthful response to him being like, go burn down this temple and take all its shit?
She says absolutely, and then she notices that she's been sussed out, and she sighs and says, "It's her Syagrius. It's Syagrius, right?"
Yes.
I don't, as you know, I'm pagan, and this task that you asked me to do goes against everything that I believe in as a knight and an honorable person.
Really? But it is not. These are not your gods. It's true. Paganism works very well for Britain, but this is not Britain. This is the Western Roman Empire.
That's true. However, any kind of paganism is still better than Christianity.
But better than Christianity. I can see that you are not from the noble Roman stock. Well, this is most unusual.
I had to apologize deeply. My beliefs are just very different than yours.
Oh, yes. Nunadin, your beliefs are very strange and unusual. Very well. If this task rankles your heart, then you may come with us, and you may help us make sure that the peasantry of this town knows who their rightful leaders are. Whereas Danny and Lonawin can go take care of the temple. I'll send Brutus with them instead.
Dwinwin frowns and seems very conflicted. She doesn't know if she should stop this from happening, or if that's even possible to do in this situation.
Yeah. So, like,
if she needs to.
As for a little bit of like metagame analysis here, like you've been attached to him by your lord. Like he wanted you to come with him, but it was your lord who gave you to him for this task, and as such, he is your acting lord right now. So like opposing his wishes is like opposing Earl Roderick's wishes, or like opposing King Uther's wishes. It would be extreme for you to act against his desires in this. But certainly you could like make an orate to see if you can like sway some people to like approach the situation differently, or
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. Do you want to like because it feels like you identify strongly with your religion, and your religion has at its as one of its tenets that anybody can sort of worship whoever they want and however they want. Do you want to try and bring one of your passions to bear on this?
Yeah, totally. I don't know which one. Maybe my love of family.
Yeah.
My family tradition.
Totally.
Yeah. So should I roll my passion first?
Yes.
Okay. There it goes.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So you think back to the way that you were raised and your family's traditions of paganism, and then you're gonna just like orate to the gathered people.
Yeah, or can I roll like a religious? Is there like a religious speech I can make? Religion instead.
Do you want to use your religion skill instead of orate?
Yeah, I mean I think it's more important to my character. Like it's more pertinent to my character and the situation, and I have a higher skill in it.
Yeah, great, cool. Go for it.
Cool. And that's plus 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no! Yeah, so you speak passionately, but I think it's like one of those things where like you so strongly believe what you're saying, and you're making an argument from the basis of religion. So like anybody who's pagan, they would be filled with fervor and just like burning with the power of your sermon. But anybody who's not pagan is kind of like, well, yeah, sure, but you're starting from false assumptions.
Sure.
So like that's what the Praetor Syagris is sort of standing there looking at you, thinking, well, he's like, well, but since Christ died for our sins on the cross, none of what you say matters.
But the old law is the same no matter where we are. Can't you see it's all the same?
Yeah. So I think he strokes his head for a moment, and he says, he turns to Elaine, Nidian, and Brutus, whose name is actually Brastias.
Right, that's right.
He turns to Elaine, Nidian, and Brastias. He says, listen, there is likely to be riches and plunder for you in the temple. It is rightful and meet that we should take these goods from the land for both the kingdom of the Roman Empire, and also as thanks to Prince Madoc for lending his army and helping me reclaim my peoples. But perhaps I spoke in haste when I recommended that the temple be razed. Go there, see what you find. I leave it in your hands to decide what is meet and appropriate for you to take, and what you will leave to these people. But remember, we are here not as these people's allies, but rather to recover them into the fold. if they believe that they are in the right outside of the fold of the Roman Empire, we must teach them how they have erred.
So yeah. So we're not doing hearts and minds here.
Right. And then he turns to Dwinwyn and he says, Nunadun, you can come with me through the town, and I will use you as an ambassador to these people. Perhaps the similarity of your religion to the local religion will allow you to make connections with them that will enable them to accept the return of the Roman Empire more gently.
She nods, and then she gives a stern look to Midian and Elaine. You know, about whatever they're about to do to that temple.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, Niddy and Elaine, like, you're knights, right? And one of the things, one of the rights and justices that knights are empowered to perform is plundering booty.
Yeah, but so this is, I'm getting a little conflicted because I'm like, I thought we're supposed to be here to like help these people and reclaim their, and get everyone on the right side here, and now I'm having that moment being like, are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this right?
Yeah, I know.
But these would, Steven,
Oh well,
correct
I
me,
mean, I'm with this guy, so let's do it.
correct me if I'm wrong. These would be Clovis's people, right?
Yeah. So these are the Frank barbarians who rose up against the Roman Empire. So like, yeah.
Oh, these aren't like okay.
But we
Oh,
did-
that makes way more sense. They're not like neutral.
Right.
people
Well,
that way to our side. These are actually like enemy forces here.
well, also like even if this
Got it.
town is a little more neutral, right? It's just like some farming village. They don't really care who leads them, but it's really problematic that these farmers are willing to accept the rule of a usurper,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like
no,
that's
they need to understand the value of laws and traditions.
exactly right.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Thanks. No, that makes. Oh yeah. I'm actually very fervent about this. This is good.
Very cool. All right, so Dwinwyn, you march through the town and you begin speaking passionately with the people there. Do you want to try to like convince them to return to the fold of the Roman Empire?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Cool.
Yeah.
Give an orate and give yourself. So you've got the +10 for your loyalty to or for your love of family. Give
Yeah.
yourself an additional +10. Because of your the closeness of your religion.
That's awesome. So we're very common. You and I, we could all be on the same team. Just look within your hearts and your practice and your tradition and the gods that you've worshipped for so many years. Stuff like that. I'll go to like individuals or families or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So while Sagrius is off on one side, like, yes, the law of Roman rule has returned to your city, and now we will take your tithes, and we will bring out your sons that we may induct them into the Roman army. You're on the other side, and you're preaching about the similarities of religions and how it's important to all come together. And there are a number of people who are nodding, and maybe some of them are nodding just a little too vigorously because like you're backed up by a whole bunch of people with swords and horses. But you can definitely see that a number of the citizens are actually quite pleased to not only have the Romans back, but to have you there and speaking like a more inclusive vision of the Roman Empire. Yeah. So meanwhile, Elaine and Nidian, you've marched up to the top of the hill, and there's this large wooden temple that's built to the Saxon gods. And there's a large double wooden door that's closed in front. What do you do?
It's closed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go open it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna straight up try to open it if it's locked.
Are you like kicking it in, or are you just like?
No, I
pushing
mean
it
I'm
open?
gonna try to push it open, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It opens freely.
Oh, good. All right, cool. I don't have to bash it down.
Yeah. You look around,
Yeah,
And-
I Aragorn it,
and there's a lot of riches in here. You see, like goblets and chalices and little like silver hammers dedicated to Thor. and like a spear with a golden spearhead and a silver raven perched on it. It looks like it's a symbol to Odin.
Yeah.
And up at the front on the altar itself, there's a large bough of mistletoe that's all fashioned out of silver for the branches and then gold for the leaves. And this singular item probably represents the majority of wealth that's here in this temple. And there's an elderly priest, French priest, and he says, "Ah, s'il vous plaît, non. Laissez-nous en secours." Something.
Yeah,
He's
I
begging
don't
and
think
pleading.
it's Aquitanian.
Elaine probably understands a little bit of what he's trying to
little
say.
bit.
He's like,
I mean,
please
it's
leave
obvious
us alone.
he's trying to plead or whatever, right?
Right. So what do you do?
Oh,
They're probably like,
If nobody stops me, I'm gonna be like, "Get out of the way, old man! Like you've chosen wrong," kind of thing. And I'm gonna proceed to start looking around for more stuff. And I'm
yeah,
gonna be rude here, and you can kind of see me doing that. But I'm gonna give you guys a chance to interject if you want.
yeah. So
I don't think I do.
the priest he jumps in front of you, Nidian, and he puts his hands on your shoulder and he babbles at you in French. What do you do?
I just Heisman Trophy him away. I'm like, "Get out of here!" Like, he's no threat to me, right? Like and I'm just gonna look around and see like all of the treasure. What's going through Nidian's head here is like, what a great bounty to give to Uther for the war chest.
Yeah,
Is what I'm thinking right now.
yeah, totally. Yeah, you like shove him aside, and he just like latches back onto you. The more you push him away, the more he like tries to grab onto you, and like he puts his hands on your face, and he's like, "Oh, s'il vous plaît, écoutez-moi."
Oh.
This is- So okay, I want to explain a little bit of what I'm thinking about Cernidian right now.
Mhm.
I feel like these people, it would be like if they reneged on their liege lord,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like they just didn't like renounce their oath to their sovereign ruler, and they're like okay with it. And this is not okay. You can't do that.
yeah.
And so I think these people have committed a really heinous crime.
Got it.
And so I'm treating them like rubbish right now. Okay. So I am So he's playing with me, and I know he can't understand me, but I'm like, "Get out of here! You've you've made your choice. Get,
Yeah,
And I point to the door and like leave.
yeah.
I'm telling him to get out of his own church.
Give me an orate check, but at like a -5 because you don't speak his language.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there? Okay. I mean, I'll make that roll, but I'm thinking more about Like, I feel like I'm intimidating this guy out of here more than anything. Would that change the outcome?
Like there is no intimidation
Yeah.
skill, so really you're just trying to orate, but like using, a specific tactic.
Could you use your size?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I just do orate. I do orate. Oh, what I
Oh
missed.
wow, you were really close. Yeah. Yeah. He's just not letting up, and as soon as you grab any of the riches,
Steven, I need to stop you right here real quick though.
yeah.
I mean, maybe we might want to. You should read chat, and maybe we should just like continue or something.
Oh, okay.
Kind of hand wave it, and just kind of tell us what happens, or not.
Carry- Carry on.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. Let's figure out what exactly we want to do. Yeah.
Because this is important to players, and I don't want to.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, he's not giving up. He doesn't get out of your way. Every time you try to grab any of these riches, which they're plunder that these people have restricted from their lord, they're preventing you from taking. Yeah, what do you do? Or what about
I-
Elaine?
I will. Yeah, this is the perfect moment to pass the torch kind of over to Elaine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna restrain him and then be like, and kind of arrest him essentially.
Okay.
And I'm gonna Elaine do what I was doing and kind of like see what else is here and find the best treasure to get for King Uther.
I mean, our goal here is to requisition these people back to the Empire, right? We're not
Mhm.
like trying to
Yeah.
attack them if we don't have
My-
to.
Yeah, but I'm definitely kind of like changing the goal a little bit here, and you can stand up to that, being like, "Oh man, this is great for Uther." This is what I'm thinking, right?
Well, like
Yeah.
one of the things that is kind of expected of an invading army is that you go and not only do you subjugate the people you're invading, but you also requisition many of their riches to replenish the
Exactly.
coffers of the king and your lands.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of money in here, right, Steven?
Yep.
Like a lot. So I mean, maybe not a lot for Dwinwin, who with all her manners and everything, but this could throw a pretty good piece.
I think
More money than I've
in very broken French or Latin or whatever this man is speaking,
Mhm.
try to convey that this is for the best.
Mm.
That you need to let us come through. We don't want to hurt you. Please calm down. This is for the best.
Interesting tactic.
Let us pass through. Let us take what we need and let us leave.
Yeah, so he can actually understand you. So give us an orate check, but with a +5.
Okay.
Well, your pitiful belly.
Oops. Whew,
Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah, you pull him aside and you talk to him and you make it clear, like, yeah, this is for the best and it's also right and it's for your lord and for his lords, and that he has erred by keeping this from him. However, it must be done. So he sort of sighs and he hangs his head and he sits down on a pew in the corner and looks kind of sullen, but he stops resisting you. So, yeah, all told, there's a collection of jeweled goblets, probably worth about 4 librum. There's a spear with this raven on the side of it. That's probably worth about 4 librum. And then there's that huge sort of sprig of mistletoe in silver and gold, and that's worth 8 librum itself. So
I wish if this were D&D, I would give the spear to Hrethric. Because doesn't he have that like black raven cloak, that feather cloak?
yeah.
One of Rethric's heraldic devices is a raven.
Yeah. But we probably can't keep stuff ourselves, so.
Well, it's also
That's
ceremonial, so it wouldn't be the sort of thing you'd use in battle.
No, yeah.
Well, he could put
It
it
would
up
look
in his,
great in a noble court, though.
it would look real dope in his dining room.
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess we carry everything we can.
Cool. All right, you grab it all and march on down, and yeah. So maybe Nidian, just like mark in your inventory, goblets worth 4 librum, spear worth 4 librum, and mistletoe worth 8 librum. And then we'll see what happens with all of that loot as time goes on. Okay, so
Okay.
yes, Hrethric. Well, actually, I guess let's all return together. We've coalesced. Hrethric, you've chopped up a number of logs into the appropriate lengths and with the proper joins to begin constructing a siege engine. And over the next couple of weeks, these large, massive trebuchets, huge engines of war that are capable of hurling 90-kilogram boulders 300 meters, rise up on the fields outside of Bayeux.
Yeah, for 48. I think we're talking you're not quite to counterweight trebuchets yet, but yeah, yeah, cool.
Cool. So,
Yeah, they would have their counterweight would just be a big like pile of boulders or rocks or
right
weights
on
one end.
one end. Yep.
Right, and so yeah, you're like resetting them with muscle.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you're all together, and Prince Madoc is holding court with Praetor Syagrius and discussing like, hey, how do we want to go about taking the city? Syagrius is proposing that we use the Irish kerns to scale the walls because they've built a number of ladders and they're very quick and lightly armored, so they can move quickly, and they're nimble because they're not on horses. So scale the walls, open one of the postern gates so that we can flood into the city and sack and recover it for the Roman Empire. So, did any of you have an alternate proposal you wanted to try and bring forwards? Eric?
Yeah. So, yeah, I have this devilish idea. What? So I guess who would I bring this up to? Would I bring it up to Praetor Syagrius? Is he sort of like the head of the armed forces here? Right.
Well, Prince Madoc is.
Okay.
He listens. He listens well to Syagrius, but really, probably you'd like give it to Roderick to give to Madoc.
Okay, then yeah. So the scene would be to the Earl.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you roll a battle check, and then let's see if you're able to convince Earl Roderick of what you're trying to accomplish.
So like the scene then is like we're in the battle tent, right? Like with the map and then the chess pieces and the dagger in it, like the whole thing.
Yeah, totally.
The sconces are in the ground, and it looks like a really great, cool commanding tent. And I come in and I do the formalities and everything like that. I start doing a proposal of maybe like sneaking in, opening the gates for us to attack, surprise them, and capture the element of surprise. They don't expect an attack right now. They expect us to dig in, and that this could make this even faster.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll my battle check. No modifiers. 4.
Nice. Yeah, I think he sort of scratches his head at first. It says, "Well, that's you advise doing this when? When would you do this? At dawn? At dusk? Under cover of nightfall?"
Yes, under the cover of night. I'm just gonna say that tomorrow is a new moon. It'll be the darkest time.
This is a dangerous task, and it would be you and your comrades, Elaine, Hrethric, Dwynwen. You would assist us in this way.
Well, I haven't brought it up with them yet, but I'm sure there would be no problem.
Yes, they are a bloodthirsty lot, but it seems to me that this method, it would allow us to take the city with much less bloodshed. If you open the gate for us under cover of subterfuge, then our army can march into town and we can subdue the military there without needing to risk the citizenry through a siege or a lengthier battle.
Yes. The faster we take, this is Bayou, right?
Bayou, you're right, yeah.
Bayou, yeah. Like the faster we take Bayou, the faster we can. I'm sorry, is it Passoin, or
Soissons.
Soissons, the capital.
Yeah.
Right. The faster we get to the capital.
Uh,
So that's my logic, right? That's what I'm really pointing at, being like, we can keep going. Like, let's keep this train going.
Yeah, you see him sort of look away for a second and then look back at you and say, "Yes, you're right. It sounds like you have the possibility of guaranteeing us a quicker victory.
Yeah.
This may be quite dangerous, Nidian. There may be
I'm aware.
enemies at guard who can stop you, and you may not return to us."
Yes. But what are I kind of say, like, we're not your best knights, but we're powerful, great knights.
It is
Use
true.
us for this, right? It won't be basically. It's not a devastating loss without us, but the chance for greatness and to win this in one night is too great of an opportunity to pass up.
Very well.
And if we don't do it now, then it will be a month later, and the more prepared for this siege Bayu will be.
He nods. He says, "I will bring this before Prince Madoc and the Praetor Syagrius. I think that you are showing a keen mind for battle. Go, speak with your friends, make sure that they understand the stakes of what you're proposing. I will speak with Prince Madoc, and perhaps we can end this war before it begins."
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, Hrethric, Elaine, Dwynwen, after Nidian tells you about his plan, what's your perspective on this?
I say yes. The less casualties, the better on both sides. Let's do this for the team.
What does Hrethric say?
It's
I'm
cowardly.
curious about. Yeah,
It's pure cowardice.
it's smart.
It's coward. You're a coward. You're a coward for even suggesting this to our Lord. I can't believe you would dishonor yourself by saying this in open company. And he will now go and dishonor himself because you've convinced him with your silver tongue. You've convinced him to go speak cowardice to Prince Madoc's ear.
Hrethric, my friend, the glory of giving our companions the upper hand by sacrificing ourselves.
Send the Irish.
Opening the gates.
Then we will be the
Why
first
give
through the
glory
gates.
to the Irish.
There's no
We will be
glory in
remembered as the one
cowardice.
who opens the gates to Bayo.
No, you won't.
Why? I'm completely like
There's no-
dumbstruck. How?
There's no
This
one
is
who
great.
sneaks around on a moonless night is remembered.
Where does Dwynwen fall on this conversation?
Ooh, Hrethrick's making a really good point. He's kind
Yeah.
of swaying her opinion, I think.
Mhm.
Because she trusts Cindy, and I trust your knowledge and skill in battle is greater than all of ours, and I would trust any battle decision you make, just based on that alone. But Hrethrick does make a point. Who will see our glory in the dark of night? Actually,
You'll
don't-
see. I guess would it be Madoc's banners flying over the city? Whose
Yeah.
banner?
Well, I guess
We'll remember-
Syagrius, actually, but yeah.
And then you know what? Then I say like, fine, you're right. Maybe there is no glory in it, but we save a lot of lives, and Madoc's or Uther's banners will be flying over the city at the rays of the first light in the morning.
I am unmoved.
How about that as a goal? The
Very
faster
well.
we take Bayo, the faster we can go to Soissons.
Yeah.
I'll go with
The closer we are to achieving the reclamation of Praetor Syagrius', the restoration.
Yeah.
Um,
If you-
Neustria.
If you truly wish to lay your life on the line for this cause and to do the most glorious thing, then ride with me to the gates and challenge the 4 best warriors of Bayu to single combat for the city.
Oh, that's really inspiring.
Let us mount our beautiful
Can we-
horses, fetch up
Can
our
we trust
weapons.
these- Yeah. How can we be sure that they won't be deceitful? How that they won't open the gates after we best them?
Because God will shine a light down on us and protect us from such perfidy. If
Very well.
we are valorous.
Honestly, as a player, I never even considered that as an option. Now it's-
Oh, Eric, it's
I'm
not
all
an
about
option. It is far less of an option than your plan. Your plan is smart. I am bound to play Hrethric in a particular way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like from the perspective of society here, Nidian, you made this suggestion from your knowledge of battle. It's not like there's not going to be any fighting, but it's like you're gonna get a huge upper hand through this.
Yeah.
So like,
and I'm actually not very valorous.
Right,
As we've
but, like,
seen. This is like.
many people
Makes
probably
sense.
won't see this as cowardly. Some of them all feel the way Hrethric does. Like, how can these people hide
Yeah,
in their walls? Like, blah blah blah.
It doesn't feel great. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel great. But when our banners are flying over that castle,
Yeah.
though, I'm sure we'll be okay.
So it's-
you know what I mean?
What I'm saying is Prince Madoc isn't going to come back and be like, Nidian, you fucking coward, I can't believe you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Hrethric is playing a good character, but
Yeah. Okay. No. All right.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I think probably, you know, like we wipe on the conversation of the four of you. Hrethric taking the strong line, this is cowardly, it's not honorable, it's not the way it should be done, we need to go. Challenge their four best warriors. Dwinwyn a little bit in the middle, sounds like you're kind of willing to go along with Nidian's proposal. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, Hrethric made a really great argument, though. I would kind of, if Hrethric is going alone, I would go with him.
Okay, so got it.
Yeah.
And then Elaine, you're more on the Nidian side?
I think I am, yeah. After seeing that like helpless old man today, I'm just kind of like, let's kill as few people as possible.
Got it. Cool. All right, so yeah, later that evening, Earl Roderick comes to the four of you and he just like looks at each of you. He gives you the silent beckon. And he leads you to Prince Madoc's tent, opens the flaps and ushers you in. And Prince Madoc nods to you, Hrethric, and he turns to the others and says, Yes, Lonnie and Nadadad and Nunwood, right? Is that Syagrius told me of the three of you? Tell me.
I say, Elaine, at your service.
Sir Elaine, thank you for coming to me at my summons. Nadadad, I hear that you have a ploy, a battle plan that will lead us to victory. Tell me, what is your plan?
Well, it's a maneuver. A small group of us, maybe, and I don't know how actually soldiers, Nidian would know.
Yeah.
We scale the walls at night, and we open the gates. We create a distraction. The gates are open, and we take the city at nightfall, and then by dawn, and so the city will be ours by morning.
Interesting. For such a plan to work, we would need to mount a fearsome distraction in order to guarantee your ability to slip in the city unknown.
Yes.
Hey, he turns to Earl Roderick. He says, Earl Roderick, your men, they are clever. Well, very well. I approve of this plan. I enjoy it greatly. The others of you, the three of you here, are you interested in joining Nidian in his quest to go open the gates? Or does it strike you that you would be better served creating a distraction?
Ugh, Hrethrick's just completely disgusted. He says nothing.
I think I'd rather.
Nidian.
Yeah,
I go Nidian.
I think, I think with since I see your guys' hesitation or whatever, I might say like I only need this extra amount of men to accomplish this. Let me trust in me and my tactics to lead them, and the gates will be open by this midnight or whatever.
Yeah, he nods. Very well. And if you fail and die, we will remember your name, Nuda-Dude, and
you. I don't correct him. I'm not going to correct this guy.
Who corrects Prince Madoc?
I know. Holy shit.
Yeah, and we will still try our original plan on the morrow.
Indeed.
Very well, Elaine, Nidian, you may lead this effort to open the gates. Dwinwyn, are you going to go with them, or are you going to stay back with Hrethric and help?
No. Hrethric. Let me clear something up.
Okay.
So Hrethric will fall to a knee and just say, "Command me."
Yeah. Yeah. He nods. He says, "Hrethric, your people are renowned for their fighting ability. I believe that this subterfuge is perhaps not to your primary skill. Instead, ride with me. We will propose an assault on the opposite side of the city, such that we draw their forces to that side, so that Nidian and Elaine may slip in unknown."
As you wish, my lord.
Yes.
So, nice. I think I'm a little. If this was a Telltale game, Nidian will remember this, like how you like behave there, Rethric.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up.
Really? You'll remember that I am valorous and true and loyal,
No,
and
And
that
honorable?
you're a sneaking coward. You'll remember that.
It's just
Yeah.
like Nidian will
the-
remember this, Rethric will remember this, Nidian will remember this. It's just like popping up.
And yeah, and so if there's like a spare moment or whatever, I want to thank Elaine for like stepping up with me. Like thank you for doing this. It's and I think I'm gonna be a little hateful here. Man, Nidian's kind of getting on the dark side a little bit today. And I think I should say, this is why like Saxon blood won't do whatever, everything that's necessary for victory.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This is
not an
why
earshot, is
they
he?
will never.
Oh my
no,
God.
I say,
No.
no, I say this close to you. I say this with confidence to you.
Maybe
right?
this is like as you all are like sneaking towards the
Yeah,
walls.
thank
Oh,
you.
no.
Yeah.
You disagree with me, and then you intrigue against me. You speak ill against me. I have never said an ill word about you.
Look, we fight
And
Saxons
I
all the
disagree with
time,
you
and-
one time, and you speak ill against me to my companions. Oh, I see who I'm playing with.
I'm just keeping it a little spicy,
Yeah.
I do not have a
I have
comment.
nothing. I'm Spice Bay right now. I know. I have nothing but love for you. I think playing that up a little bit would be cool. I also have a pretty high hatred of Saxons, so I feel like
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
getting shown a little.
Yeah.
But I
Bigotry is lovely.
Yeah. We're
Hey, man.
seeing all of the
Do not-
darkness
like,
of the
no, real
Uther
talk,
era in this one episode.
yeah. Like real talk though, Luke, are you comfortable with?
Oh, I'm 100%. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm all right. Great. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so Dwinwyn, are you with Elaine and Nidian unlocking gates, or are you with Rethric proposing a counterattack?
I'm proposing a counterattack. I
Cool.
also have an extremely high.
High five, Dwin.
Yeah.
Bam!
Boom.
Nice.
We're gonna fuck some people up.
Yeah, so Prince Madoc takes the bulk of the army around to the other side of it's not like the opposite side. It's more like they're swinging left a little bit, sort of near where the siege engines are. And he has everybody carry 2 torches, so it looks like the army is much larger. And he winds up the trebuchets and he begins hurling, just like a few pot shots against the walls, just enough to get them ready. Meanwhile, Elaine and Nidian begin sneaking around the other side. So would Elaine and Nidian, would both of you make dexterity tests for me, please?
Oh,
Sure.
Special Task Force Nidian.
Fuck.
Nice.
Okay.
So, Nidian, you go, you like try to throw your grappling hook up the walls a couple times and it just clatters against them. Finally, Elaine picks it up and tosses it up in one. And the 2 of you start climbing. Rethric and Dwinwyn, you see the gates open on that side of Bayou, and a number of warriors ride out, mounted on horseback, ready to come meet you in battle.
This is what I'm talking about.
So Prince Madoc, he looks to you, Rethric, and he looks at the enemy and he says, "Do you see? The cowards, finally, when we put the pressure upon them, they break." And then he holds his sword high in the air and he points it forward and says, "Charge!" Let's see, I'm going to have him give a battle roll.
Ruh-roh.
Let's see, plus...
Retro.
Can,
Oh, yeah. Wow, he
Whoa.
nearly crit. In fact, he did crit, so awesome. So you guys get the first battle charge. Well, let's see, 1d20 less than 13. Nope. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys get the battle the charge bonus.
oh, nice. So I just actually have a question about who. So just that. What's going on in the scene? So we're assaulting. We're mounting an assault, like
Yes.
a seemingly mad, desperate hope to try to take the walls or something. Nidian and Elaine are going to infiltrate and try to open the gates. Now, who's going to rush those gates?
Yeah. So he took about half his army. So let's see.
is it Roderick or Lycus or like who's?
I'm drawing a little diagram here. So here is like the camp, and he took about half of his army off this way, where like the siege engines are. Oh, hang on, are you all on this page? No, you're not. That's going to be a lot easier. Yeah. So here's where like siege engines are, right?
Okay.
So that's where you all are now. So I guess Earl Roderick is probably the guy leading the force back at the at the camp, whereas Nidian and Elaine and like 4 other people are coming around this way, and you're gonna come through and open the gate here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So yeah, that's why he had each of you carrying 2 torches, because he wanted to make it look like the entire army had moved off to the left flank. Instead of leaving, like, everybody snuffed out all the campfires back at camp. Nobody's holding any torches. Everybody's trying to be as quiet as possible under the cover of darkness.
Cool.
So, yeah, Dwinwyn and Hrethric, you charge in and you encounter some Gaulish knights.
Oh boy.
Cool.
Let's see.
Oh boy. These are Franks? These are real Franks?
Yes.
I don't think this is going to go well.
It's gonna go great. This is a great idea, Luke.
I think honestly we got into trouble just stepping into France to fight Clovis and his crazy Franks, but
Probably.
you know, we've got some Irish on our side.
That's true. That's, you know, that counts for something.
I mean, I'm just regular old English people.
But yeah, I am proud to fight at your side, Dwin.
Proud to fight at your side, Hrethric.
Yeah, that's right.
We got this.
Cool. So
We got
that is Oops. And armor is 16. Great. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna see what passion is like eligible here.
Great. All right, so yeah, Nidian and Elaine are off over here, sneaking in. Dwinwyn and Hrethric are on the battlefield. So Dwinwyn and Hrethric, you're charging forwards, and do you have any relevant passions, Dwinwyn?
So, Dwin, go ahead. Go, Dwin.
Is it maybe loyalty?
Absolutely. Well, you're also charging alongside Prince Maddox, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess then, Dwin, I have the same idea as you. So I turn to Maddox and I kind of bow slightly in the saddle, and I say, "With your permission, Prince."
Yes.
Yeah, and he shouts back. He says, you know, "For blood and honor."
Yes.
All right, good. I'm in. I am loyal to Maddox. Let's go.
Yep, excellent.
Woo. Okay. Are we charging with our swords?
I think generally the first charge is made with lances.
Lances.
Unless you're Hrethric.
Yep. Unless you're Hrethric.
Spear expertise.
And yes, with spear expertise. And Dwinwyn, you're going to want to like remove the wounds on your character because it's been long enough you've healed up.
Oh yeah.
That will be helpful.
Right. Start with 0. That's good.
All right, cool. So you each collide with a Gaulish knight in a test of lance skill. So let's see.
20, right? Because the charge plus the loyalty.
Yeah. So the charge bonus is plus 10, and the loyalty is plus 10. So that's total of plus 20. Yeah.
What?
No.
Wow. Really? Wow. Okay. Luke, go ahead and roll yours as well. Your spear expertise, or
Yeah,
for you, it's just the two-handed weapon, right?
Right. So just modifiers wise, they have the lance.
Yes.
So he's going to get a +5 against me.
Yes, and
right?
you have a -5, so you get a +15 total.
Oh, so I do get a +15 total. Okay.
Right, because the first charge bonus and then your loyalty bonus.
Got it. Great. That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so these 2 knights, they're also burning with like love of their homeland. So they're going to test their passion. Roll 1d20 less than, let's say, 18. Oh, wow. Okay, so Dwinwyn, yours is burning with love for his homeland, whereas Hrethric, yours is feeling a little bit scared at coming out of the walls. He's kind of a coward. He was more excited about staying behind the walls and just sitting there forever.
My friend Nidian's back there if you want to go hang out with him.
All right.
Oh my god.
So Dwinwyn, roll 1d20 less than, and what is their lance skill? 15, so that's plus 10, so 1d20 plus 5. Less than 25. Okay, cool. Yes. So you succeed, Dwinwyn, over this guy in the lance. So you get to deal your damage to him. And it's your horse's damage. It's 66.
Whew. So just roll 66.
Yeah.
Take the full brunt of my horse.
Ooh,
So you deal no damage, actually. So let's see.
16 armor, right?
Yes, and
What about-
size of 14. So he does have to test dexterity. So.
Horsemanship on
Oh.
the horse.
Yep, you're right. Where is it? It's not even on here. I'm going to assume it's 15.
Sounds good.
There's like nobody, no
Like-
knight. Okay, he succeeds in keeping on his horse. Your lance breaks, Dwinwyn, against his breastplate. Hrethric, on the other hand, you crash against this guy who has failed. So he's got like a 1d20 less than... Actually, he's got the plus 5, so it's actually 15. Okay. So he succeeds, but you crit, so you just demolish him. So roll your 12d6.
In the classic Hrethric maneuver, knock aside that lance and then just come back around and destroy him, I hope.
So,
Whoa!
I want his head to land at Nidian's feet.
Right?
Yeah,
That's some righteous fury, man.
I think Nidian is a little bit far away, but what does happen is his head lands at Madoc's feet.
Sorry, sir.
And Prince Madoc looks over to you and he goes, "Ha ha!"
You hit it out of the park, man.
Yeah, totally. So that Gaulish knight is gone. Nidian and Elaine, you've climbed to the top of the tower. And now you're making your way along the walls. And you can see inside the chamber of the gate room, the gatehouse, wheelhouse, I guess is what it's called. Yeah. You can see a few knights sitting in there, a few Gaulish knights ready to defend against this invasion. What do? They don't know you're there. You're looking in from the darkness into a well-lit room. They can't see you.
I mean the best. So we can see, like, do we one does like half looks over the window kind of thing and see them in there?
Totally.
Yeah, so I like kind of very silently, maybe just hand signals or whatever. You know, I say like, "There's two knights, one here and one there." I mean, we don't have. There's those like SWAT tactics. We just go in there.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're just gonna kick in the door.
Yeah,
you're
just
like,
go in.
Yeah, you know, like is your like you know you have your. We're probably doing that a crouch thing. We're next like we got our swords out. Like you ready? Like your sword sharp.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Really quick. Can't let them give up where we are, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. All right.
Silence
So
them.
you two
Yes,
go
silence.
kick in the door and go charging in, swords drawn. Neither of these knights were expecting this at all.
No.
Their swords are like against the wall. They don't have their shields, so they've only got 10 armor instead of 16.
Good.
So go ahead and make your strike.
Sweet.
I don't have any passions to invoke, I think, for this. No. Alright.
Okay.
Just gonna sword it. Do we have any like a positional advantage or like modifier to this or
So I
or is it
guess
just the fact they're unarmed? Like
They're-
because they're unarmed, right?
let's say they're unarmed, and that gives you a +5 modifier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's up to
The element of surprise.
13.
Nice. Wow.
Nice.
Ooh,
Ugh.
close. Okay,
it.
yeah, both of you deal your full damage. So roll your damage.
Rough.
Ooh, nice, Elaine. Yeah,
Ah.
you cut deeply into the side of the one you're facing, Elaine, whereas Nidian, you don't even get through the breastplate of the man you're facing. Dwynwen, the knight that you're facing off against, had drawn his sword, and he's facing off against you.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, ready?
Raise
We're,
my-
we're gonna, Dwayne. We're gonna change things up. We're gonna shift gears here.
Do I still have my 10 for my loyalty?
Yes, you still have 10 for your passion. Yep, great. Okay. And he actually succeeds against you. So let's see. That's what
You idiot.
I think it's 4d6, 5d6. Okay, so your
You raise your
armor
bell.
is 16, so yeah, you take 3 damage from it, and
Okay.
also you have to make a horsemanship test to stay on your horse.
Okay, no problem. Here it goes.
Ooh, okay. So you
That's
go
a
flying. Like he strikes you hard on your shield, and the shock injures your shoulder, and you go flying out of the saddle, land hard, plump on the ground, with like your breath knocked out of your lungs.
Happens.
Hrethric, you see this happen. What do you do?
Let's see. So I swing through, wheel, and wheel rein up, like, assess. Dwynwen's, locked. Bang, bang, bang. Spur on and shout, surrender, and I shall have mercy.
Ah, wow.
I am covered in blood.
Yeah.
Howling, spittle-flecked beard. Yeah, and he can, and basically behind me, in the flickering, torchlight or whatever, he just sees his friend's body just sliding off the horse.
Right, yeah. Now I think you look around and you can tell actually, and so can the knight. The knight looks around. He's like, "Do I need to worry about mercy?" He looks around and he can tell his army outnumbers yours pretty significantly.
Oh no.
He shouts back. He says, "You've made a grave error coming here, Britain."
Oh well, let's talk about graves, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, so I just get plus 10 on this one,
Yes. So you
and
don't.
he's not defending himself.
Right. He put all of his effort into Dwynwen.
Right. Radical sabbatical. Okay.
Oh yeah, you crit.
Oh my god, dude!
Amazing.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
It
For
is
2.
24 points of damage, sir. It is you who have made a grave error.
Yep. So, you deal him a mortal blow, and he immediately loses consciousness and slides out of his saddle onto the muck of the ground.
I embed the links of his mail. Like, I cut through the shield, embed the links of the mail into his, like, bone structure.
Ow.
I don't go all the way through, right? And Hrethric has to, like, wrench the axe out as he falls down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I reach down and off my horse and help Dwynwen up to hers.
Cool. All right, Nidian and Elaine, your turn.
Yeah.
Your knights go diving for their swords.
Oh, there's no way for us to like have picked up their sword too, or like kicked it off the something, right?
I would let you go, like, try to, like, keep his sword away from him, but you'd be doing that instead of attacking.
Oh, no, I want to kill this dude.
Okay.
They should get a -5 this turn though for picking up the swords, right?
Oh yeah, well this time they're leaping and grabbing and not actually fighting back this turn.
Yeah. I'm just gonna attack.
Cool.
Yep, attack. So do they have? So we get another +5 again.
Yes.
Come on, like, can I just roll well one time?
Just once. All right, both of you succeed, so now roll your damage.
13, nothing.
Sorry.
No, that's 3 points of damage. 18. That's 8 points of damage. Very nice. What's this guy's unconscious? 7. Okay, they're both still up. So now they grab their swords, they whip them out of their sheaths, and then they advance on you, sort of striking back at you. So, Nidian, let's see. He succeeds with a 3.
14 armor.
What's that?
I mean, my armor is 14.
Oh no, this is his attack against you. I need you to roll your sword skill against him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was another round. Okay. I thought he succeeded. Okay, sorry. No longer +5. I won.
You beat him out, so go ahead and roll your damage. 17. Nice.
There we go.
Okay, Elaine. Yep. That's what I want. Okay, Elaine, your knight is also successful.
All right. Oh.
Oh, dang, okay. Ooh, for 2 damage against you.
2.
Yep. And also make a size check. Or no, not a size, a dexterity check to see if you get knocked down.
Sorry.
Oh. Is that for every time you get damaged?
It's any time the total damage you received is higher than your size.
Your armor? Oh, size. Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Elaine, you get knocked onto your back.
Damn.
Bloop.
I'm a small lady.
Let's see.
You're small.
All right, cool. So next round, Nidian, your fight against this guy. He snarls at you and says, "You Brits don't belong here." Okay, he beats you out. Ooh, 19. So that's what, 3 damage against you, Nidian.
Yeah.
And then also make a dexterity check.
Man, what is this home team advantage?
I know. Okay, you keep your feet. Now, Elaine, you're at a -5, and your knight is at a +5 for you being knocked down.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep, so your knight succeeds. And roll your swordsmanship skill as well. He's sort of backing you around the wheelhouse, banging down his sword against your shield. Oof. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
Oof. That's what, 7 damage to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Come on. This is
And
bad. This is real bad.
make another dexterity test to see if you get knocked down again.
Okay.
You
Nope.
do not. You keep your feet.
Good.
All right, so this time, both of you against the same sort of skill. Nidian, 1 success.
There's no opportunity to do like. This isn't like Star Wars, but these things don't have railings and stuff, right?
No, unfortunately.
All right, fair enough.
You're kind of in this. There's this room where like it's a
Alright.
large circular room. You win, so roll your damage.
17.
17, very
That's
nice.
Nice.
And like in the middle, there's like a huge gear shaft with like a big
Yeah.
chain around it, and like big, big
The turnstile thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you're sort of fighting around that. Okay, cool. Dwinwin versus your knight. Oh, your knight misses this time, so this is your opening. Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Wait,
sorry. I
did you
said
mean-
Dwinwin, but I meant Elaine.
Elaine.
I
yeah.
figured you meant me. Okay.
Yep, cool. All right, so Elaine, roll your damage. Yeah, I figure Dwinwin and Hrethric are just sort of fighting valiantly through the battle outside. 23, dang. Yeah, so Elaine, how do you kill your knight?
I say, don't put Elaine in a corner. And I just come down like this, like into his shoulder.
Nice. Yeah, you separate his arm from his body. And he
Nice.
dies. Nidian, your knight sees this and turns pale. He fails at his next assault against you, Nidian.
Good. I maybe he gets distracted by seeing his comrade get crushed.
Yep.
I take the opportunity to jump up onto the wheel thing to get
Cool.
high ground on him, and crit.
Okay, yep, you crit.
I have the high ground.
Yeah,
27.
and just
Nice.
slice instead.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So
Oops.
now I'm like above him, and I just like, just single swipe.
Awesome.
Possible.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, you've dispatched the guard knights in here.
Nice.
And now, from outside, Dwinwyn and Herethric, you're fighting in the morass. Dwinwyn, you've recovered a horse. I don't know if it's your horse or not, but you're back in the saddle. The two of you continue contesting against various groups of Gaulish knights. And then you hear horns go up from the city. And there's extreme confusion as the army that you're facing sort of routs and rallies, trying to figure out what's going on. And Prince Madoc leads the charge into their retreating backsides and cuts down huge portions of them. And yes, the night proceeds fairly smoothly for our knights as Earl Roderick leads his forces in through the opened gate, meets Nidian and Elaine, and goes charging through the streets, tackling the minimal guard that was left behind, and then coming out through the side exit in a pincer attack against the Gaulish defenders, crushing them between Earl Roderick's forces and Prince Madoc and Praetor Syagris' forces.
Nice.
In the morning, the dawn comes early, and the banners of Syagrius and Madoc fly above the city. Syagrius takes a triumph through town, and he has asked the four of you to be among his equites, riding with him in the triumph for your services that you have rendered here on the continent. He rides through town, and it's a bit of a weird thing because it's like all of the citizenry know that they're forced to be throwing rose petals and cheering at their liberation, but also they're all scared because you're an invading army.
Yeah.
So I think those of you who are more war-minded are probably all jazzed and pumped with the fanfare and the pomp and the circumstance, whereas those of you who are more in tune with the sense of the population sort of notice that everybody's just a little bit tense. It's a pretty on edge affair. Praetor Syagrius leads you into the town square where Prince Madoc is sitting, and he sits up on his horse and he gestures around him and he says, he shouts, look at what we have achieved together, Prince Madoc. Your help has been invaluable in retaking Bayeux. And then he hops down off of his horse and he kneels in front of Madoc and he shouts, "Battle awaits us, sire. The Franks march on my army at Rouen. Let us meet them and destroy them as your father swore." Swore. It's like an echo through the square. Prince Madoc sort of looks away over his shoulder. He turns back and he says, "We will not. We sail at the first tide." There, Prince Madoc stands. He says, "Your father, he swore." And Prince Madoc says, "I am not my father. We have enemies at our borders and traitors in our west. We must leave." And the Praetor sort of grits his teeth, and you can see a vein pop out on his forehead. And he shouts out, he says, "Then victory to the honorable. We go, and we leave poison behind us." And he rides away from Prince Madoc. Earl Roderick, watching from the sidelines, as sort of the situation deteriorates, he beckons the four of you over. And he shakes his head and he says, "Well, it seems we must head back to the homeland. We have done great deeds here. We have freed this city, and I am certain that Syagrius will take his army and move on to greater victories than this, but our homeland calls."
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, he sort of grits his teeth and he says, "Yeah, the prince will do what he does. It sometimes seems as if kings are exempt from the normal laws of humanity. It's not our place to question them, no matter how iniquitous they may seem. After all,
I wasn't questioning it. No.
No, his decision is good for Britain, and the plunder will do our empty treasuries well, and King Claudius won't hate us any more than he already does. So
questioning the authority of our leaders is how this place got into its mess in the first place. Right?
He claps you on the shoulder and nods.
I'm sorry. It's just that I was excited for battles here to come.
Yeah.
Well,
Perhaps
why don't you?
we will be fully earned in the shade on our shores.
Why don't you join Sagrius? Why don't you do what is valorous and honorable?
I am
Vivian?
bound by our law. I would love to, but my duty to my lord and to my king command that I return.
I see.
I maybe actually, you know what? Even more than that, I would say like I wish for nothing more than that, but my duty tells me to. Like I really would love to stay, and do this.
Nice.
Is it? Yeah. Like I like the Aquitanians. I like Praetor, Syagrius. I like this, but yeah, my duty calls.
Cool.
And also, and I think I'm. You can tell there's anger in my voice. Rhetoric. Like you can tell they're like I'm a little angry at you.
Oh.
Just. I'm snappy. Like it's a snappy kind of way.
What a surprise.
Rhetoric is loose and happy, covered in his enemy's blood, utterly untouched. He brushes some teeth out of his hair. Rethric's happy as the morning sun.
He got what he needed.
That's right.
And we gave it to him.
So I think, you all load onto the ships and set sail back to the west to rejoin the mainland. Let's do the winter phase.
Dope.
We can go through it fairly quickly. And yeah, we got to see some kind of gross stuff today in the history of King Arthurian legend, right?
Right. Well, so that's the thing is we're not playing a historical game. This isn't a historical game.
Yeah.
This is we're also not addressing or challenging these events that happen in life, and I'm talking about murdering and robbing civilians, soldiers,
yeah, exactly.
Plundering and exploiting civilians, also murdering people because of their religion or burning down religious structures. Like, we're not challenging any of that stuff. So, like, that's not what this game is about. This game is like about glorying and reveling, and in the Arthurian mythos. And yeah, sure, like the modern version of the Arthurian mythos is really dirty and lusty and stuff like that. Sure, fine, but like you want to play a game with me where we get into the kind of the moral question of what it is to be basically a thug, and rob and murder. I will play that game with you. That's not this game.
Well, I also think like it's interesting from a timeline perspective, because as Arthur comes into his power and as like the region sort of changes, these sorts of behaviors are a little bit less common, and it becomes more about like knightly honor and courtly courtship and love and romance, and it's still not. You're still not necessarily good people. Yeah. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that like our knights are not necessarily good people, and they're asked directly not to do good things. What do you think, Luke?
So can I ask?
Go ahead.
Luke?
Yeah.
What would you have liked so to keep with that tone? What would you imagine I should have done given that situation?
Oh, this isn't on you, man. This is on Steven. Like we shouldn't have played out that scene. It's just unnecessary. Because Hrethrick's not a good person. Hrethrick will never be a good person. Yeah. I didn't set out to play Hrethrick as a good person. Hrethrick is a product of his time and his age, and he's a bestial murderer. He's a bully. He's a horrible creature. And I'm comfortable with that, but man, like, yeah, getting into like shit where we're preying on civilians and murdering people because of their religion, murdering defenseless people because of their religion. It's just a bridge too far.
Well, yeah, it was less about like murdering. Actually, honestly, never came into my head. It was honestly more about being able to plunder their resources.
Stephen, I'm sorry, you told them to burn the church down. That's murder.
Okay.
Because what happens when you burn the church down, like behind all that, historically behind all that, is you lock everyone in the church and you burn it down. So
Fair.
like you can't say that there was no murder on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the opportunity to change that, though. I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to play scenes where you have foreign priests begging for their lives at your feet because they don't speak your language and you're about to steal their stuff, steal their livelihood. So sure, maybe you didn't actually stab him to death, but now he's going to starve to death, or he's going to be murdered by his villagers because he collaborated with you. Like, anyway, Kira, you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a little uncomfortable for me as well, Luke. But I was thinking about it kind of in like this, the more feminist Pendragon we're trying to portray in a way, right? Like in the context of like a colonial, racial situation, like are we erasing this religion when we move in and take over this land? And I know we talked a whole lot about how we thought about Saxons and if we were going, how we were going to think about like the inherent, the kind of racism that's there. And a lot of that question was coming up here. I was like, Stephen, are you intentionally asking us to examine some of these issues?
Yeah.
With, like burning the church or removing these people's religions or like where we can connect with them as knights.
Yeah.
It's really weird though, like if we're supposed to be valorous, like how murderous we're supposed to be right now. Like I know you said like
There was
in the Arthurian part we're like a little more vicious, whereas like in the Arthurian part it's like a little more romantic. And like I think that's a cool juxtaposition. It's just very hard to imagine where the good thing or the vicious thing would have been in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll see what we can do to try to like avoid confronting that too aggressively in the future. Like I saw the conversation in chat and I don't want to make anybody too uncomfortable. Yeah, Luke, I think you're right, of course, but I didn't conceptualize that in my head about like what burning down the churches meant. I mean, certainly you were asked by a foreign leader and by your lords to do something that is like Kira, like you pointed out in chat, it is very colonial and very aggressive.
Well, everything we're doing is colonial. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you really want to break it down. But the whole thing, the whole kind of scenario of like waging wars and taking over other people's lands. And
look.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's problematic. But like, how do you work within that frame? I guess.
Yeah, I was definitely picking up on those threads of I think Steven's kind of showing us an example of like, I mean, how good are we is by how we treat our people less fortunate than us, right? Like that's a pretty good way of measuring that. And it's I since we're put in that position, and depending on how we wanted to, I wasn't sure how we wanted to play it out, so I was doing a lot of like just making, constantly being like, hey, are we okay with this? This is I'm signaling I want to do this, or a lot of like give and take kind of stuff, like just to play that out. So like, I mean, sometimes obviously I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm glad we're like figuring out like where our boundaries are, because and that's why I immediately interrupted as soon as I saw chat saying that, because alas, the most uncomfortable, unfun games you have is when you don't say anything, and so like you really need to be rewarded when you bring that stuff up and you're being
totally, and
just figuring out where like, oh, okay, that's a wall, all right, that's fine, I'll back off, where like let's continue.
Yep, totally. And
we're also like adults, and we can we have the power to we're really smart. We can change that. We can retcon a little bit to make sure we don't get in that situation in the moment, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like we can figure stuff out.
Like there were a couple of different options for like events that could have happened to you, and the one that I rolled randomly was you have the option to plunder like a local temple, and probably I could have just been like, oh, let's maybe steer away from that one just because of the implications of it. But I thought you guys handled it pretty well. And certainly like when I saw what was happening in our private chat and like the discussion of whether we wanted to invoke the X card here or not, that's always something I'm comfortable with. And since we did talk about it and decided to go forwards and then just address it afterwards, I just want to reiterate that if any of you had wanted to use the X card, we absolutely would have elided that scene and just said
The X card, yeah, like the X card is like the last line of defense. This was very much like the veil, being like, let's not do this anymore. It felt more that way. I know that just the fact that we recognize, hey, this is a situation that we have issues with. Like
Totally.
just being able to be forthcoming with that as players is really like the best thing in the world. That's kind of like what the stuff comes up. That's the point behind the X card.
I think it was just difficult trying to figure out like how can we be good knights but also plunder this church.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was
Because that's what we're asked to do. So is
Yeah.
being good doing what we're asked to do, or is it not attacking people?
Yeah, and I think I wasn't sure within the context.
Yeah.
Like, in Pendragon, what would the correct answer be? And then also, I think talking about religion in the setting is because like my characters are religious characters. So I mean, it's interesting to see conflicts of religion for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Kira stood up for the alternate view, and obviously that like there is the clash of religions going on. It's part of the setting and whatnot. But yeah, it's a bad scene. I'm down to do all sorts of heinous deeds in character and answer all sorts of moral questions, but that one just rang wrong for me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it a little bit more offline, and we can figure out so that I can understand a little bit more about where the lines are for you, Luke, and then we can make sure to adjust that in the future. But we should probably do some winter phase stuff, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, winter phase.
Cool.
Favorite part. I love this mini game. I love this mini game so much.
Do you guys actually mind if I dip out? I have to go somewhere.
Okay,
sorry.
that's fine.
I thought we were gonna stop at 1 today.
Yeah, I also did too. So, if you guys need to is everybody else okay to stick around, or should we just call it here and then we can do winter phase at the start of the next session? Is that more comfortable for people?
Yeah, that's fine by me. We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd like to start at the next session.
Whatever you guys want. I apologize, but I have to
No,
go
it's-
somewhere.
No problem.
That's fine. We're supposed to end at 1 anyway, so all right. Well, thank you all for playing. Let's talk about all this stuff offline, and then we'll talk about the next episode offline as well. Let's do some shout outs. So let's start with Nidian. I'll let you take us away.
Thanks. Hi guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really, really interesting. It was a lot of fun. I think there are a lot of really cool moments here. I'm Eric Vulgaris on the internets, on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I do a lot of actual plays. I do 2 campaigns. One's coming up in a couple hours from now. We're playing a modified game of Jared Sorensen's Lacuna set in John Harper's Blades in the Dark setting. For that, because we're going to dive into some subconscious explorations and heartbeats and inception-y kind of in someone's head. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you like that, if you want to see me play Burning Wheel, I run a game on Sundays called Burning Crowns. And in addition to that, you can go to ericvulgaris.com and see all my actual player write-ups of my story games that I do, in addition to an upcoming mouse card game I'm doing in real life. So that is me. And guys, thank you so much, Chad. It was great hanging out with you. Luke, Jess, Kira, Steven, thank you guys so much. It was a good episode, and I really appreciate the talk at the end. This is exactly how we should handle these types of things. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. Jess, give us some shout outs.
Yeah. Hi guys. I'm Jess. I'm Selden on the internet. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new today, welcome. I hope you had a good time. All of the VODs, of course, are on Steven's YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to list that stuff on my own website too, so there's more ways to get to it. If you want to look at my schedule, you can go to silden.com/schedule. Whoa. But definitely follow me on Twitter because that's what I update the most. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Luke, give us some shout outs.
What's up, y'all? I'm Luke. I get angry on the internet.
Doesn't everybody get angry on the
Doesn't
internet?
everybody?
I don't know. No, I envy the people who don't. Yeah, I do stuff. It's cool. No shout outs for me.
Cool. Kira.
Hey, I'm Kira. I'm Kira Nancy on Twitter. I've been posting lots of snake pictures recently. I'm obsessed. That's pretty much it.
Nice. Well, I'm Steven. Obviously, you know where to find lots of my stuff at Silent Osiris all around the internet. Let me really quickly read through the people who have recommitted their support to the stream today. So Yinlad resubscribing for 17 months. Jir resubscribing for 17 months. Quacklad for 14 months. KL Blug for 17. Someone whose name is not listed here has used 500 bits, so thank you very much. But for some reason, your name wasn't caught by Streamlabs. But I appreciate your support very much. Thank you. Taken Archon Priest has resubscribed for 6 months. Kilgore Kilmore for 3 months. Lauren Danger for 5. Rooster Castile for 17. Silden subscribed. High five. Daylon 9 for 17 months. And Romacron for 18 months. And then Schmelzer88 just subscribed today. So thank you all very much for your support. I will put a Q&A on the subreddit. So that's reddit.com/r/silentosiris. And I'll put that in chat as soon as I have it up. And we will see you soon. Thank you for coming out and watching. Catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.